Carrie with Canary Quilts, and I wanted to get us started off on this Baby Yoda paper piece sew along. This is a paper piece pattern by Pictures Boutique, and I'll put the link to her website down below, and you can go grab this pattern. She sells it for 1 cent, so it's virtually free. So we're gonna get started on this. Today we're not gonna do any sewing. I am going to walk you through the pattern, the color sheets, the sections. I'm gonna show you how to put together some of the templates because I'm doing the large 25-inch one. She does have it as small as 12, but the 25-inch one requires you to put some of the sections together by cutting and gluing them. So I'm gonna show you how to do that also. Then I'm going to go through the fabrics I've chosen for my quilt. Another thing I wanted to do real quick was I have done one of her paper pieces before, and I did the Plants vs. Zombies Gargantuan, and that's how it turned out. And this is probably going to be how big my Yoda is going to be also. So it's quite large. The smallest one is 12 inches, so I think that would be really difficult to do because there's some small pieces in the large one. But anyway, this is what this one looks like, and so now we're going to be working on the Baby Yoda. So I'll bring you down to my desk and I'll show you the templates, I'll show you the pattern, and I'll show you my fabrics. Okay, so once you have your pattern, don't print out your pieces yet. You can print out the beginning here with all this stuff. Don't print out your pieces until you're ready and you know what size you want to do. So again, this is a pattern by Pictures Boutique, and I've got her website listed below. She's got a lot of beautiful stuff there if you want to try something else also. But the first thing we're going to do is look at, it's basically just 1 page of instructions. This tells you how to put the patterns together. So she tells you how you're going to be putting your sections together, which is back here. She has one that isn't colored, and these are all the sections in red. And she does have one that's colored. She has a lot in here. Yeah, there's one that has colors with all the sections. So she tells you how you're going to be putting your sections together right here. So you're not going to be doing A, B, C, D. So follow these instructions very carefully. The next thing she shows you is which pages your templates are on for the size you want to do. So I'm doing 25-inch. I'm doing the largest one, and she has templates that don't have colors indicators on them, and she has them with the color indicators. And the color indicators are right here. It kind of shows the color and what number color goes there. So I'll show you that in a minute. So then when you're ready with the size that you want, you know which pages to print, so you don't have to print 100 pages. So then next is how to glue your sections together. So these right here, these are the only pages that I don't have to cut and glue sections together. So I've taken those out. But right here, you can see it says glue edge number 3. So I went through and found the other glue edge number 3. And that's where we will move these out of the way. We're going to put these together like this, but what we have to do is cut one of these so that we can glue it on top of the other one. So she says to cut one side along the glue edge line, which would be this line right here, right beneath where it says glue edge number 3. And then you put the glue on this one, and then you line the two up. So I got my scissors. Let's give that a shot here. I'm gonna cut on the glue edge. I'm using newspaper print. I got this on Amazon. I can link that below too. It's once you sew it, it's really easy to pull off, and it prints really well. So we're gonna want to line it up just like that. You can see how all of these line up, and then this is going to be your entire paper piece section that you're going to be working on. So I got my glue, and I'm going to put it right down here, just a little bit, right where it says glue edge number 3. Pull this over and line it up. Nice thing about glue is you can reposition. So there. So that's how we're going to put all of our pieces together for the large size. It may not be like that for the small size, but for the large size it will be. And then when all of this is dried, I'll come and cut here, cut around this. I don't know that I'll cut on the seam. I like to keep a little more paper around, but that's how you put that together. And so I'm not going to do the rest of these. I'll do that off camera, but the same thing will apply. This one actually has no, this one has 2. I think there's one that has 3 edges, so just, you know, pay attention to what numbers are what. And I did already separate these out so that I have like all my 9s together, all my 7s together. This was 8. So there you go. That's how we put all these pattern pieces together. So when we're ready to sew, we're ready to go. Yeah, and I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. So then the next thing in the pattern is, done all that. She gives you some concept art that she did with the colors, and then some more different colors. She's very thorough. She shows you a different color background so that you have, you have options. And this is going to be personal for you to pick your own colors out. This is a colored version of the sections as we're going to be doing them. Oh, and the pattern pieces have the section on them. So this one that I just did is A. So this is the section right here that I just glued together. So back here, when she tells you to put things together, she's telling you to start with B and C first. So you'll get these 4 done, or you can get all of them done, but there's a big line here where you can put these together. So you put B and C together, and then you put D onto C, and then you put all of this onto A. So that's where that's lined up right there on how to put all of this together. And these pattern pieces tell you, this A at the beginning tells you this is section A. And then the letters next to A tell you where the order in which you put these fabrics on. So you're going to start with this section of right here. And then you're going to go to this one, and this one, and this one. And then these numbers are the color numbers. And she colored the boxes also. So that's a color diagram of all the sections in this pattern. And then this is a diagram of all the colored pieces. So if you've got this out and you're just unsure, you can look at this and go, oh, okay, I see, that's a green piece because it corresponds over here. So she's got that diagram for you. Then she's got an uncolored diagram, which is a little easier to see all the sections here that you're going to be putting together. And some of these sections are pretty small. So that's the concept arrow. She gives you a coloring page so you can color your own, put your own colors in there and see how they look. And then we've got the color indicator diagram. And this is basically going to line up. Now it's the large pattern that only has these colors on it. So you'll have to go through, if you do a smaller one, you'll have to go through and mark which one of these, which section is what color. So color number 1 is white, and she shows you where all the white is. Now that could be the rainbow color like you saw earlier also, but it's the background of this. Number 2 is the color of his face here. Number 3 is the color of his robe. Number 4 is the sleeves. So that's how she comes up with these numbers here in the boxes. So that when you're working on it, yeah, she doesn't do that on the other ones. So if you do a smaller size, you will have to go in and mark what color this section is in section A. So she goes through all the colors how she made it. And then what I did, I kind of went in here and went, oh, number 8 is the coffee cup. Because you can kind of play with the color of the coffee cup. I'm not going to do mine black. I was thinking green, but there's a little green piece here of what's in the coffee cup. So, you know, that's something you can play with. You could even play with his robe if you wanted to with different colors. It's up to you. It's going to be your piece. You're either going to keep it or give it away. So, whatever you want to do. But I marked 8 because I wanted to change the color. So, this is your color key right here. So you can mark it so you can see where the colors go up here and what the colors represent inside this picture. So that is the pattern in a nutshell. Now, let me keep this color chart out. I'm going to put my pattern pieces up here. I'll get those cut out for next time. And I'm going to show you the colors that I've got, that I've gone through and kind of picked out so far. And I've marked them with sticky notes. Oh, the purples, I am not going to do a white background. I'm going to do different color purple background. So I just pulled all of these purple batiks out of my stash to be able to do in the background. Because there's not going to be any other purples in this, so I really kind of I like purple, and I just decided that's going to be my background. So that's not marked because I know that's going to be my background. In fact, I could write that on here. So then I got number 2, which is his face. So this is the color I chose for his face. It's kind of the light limey green that he has. And then, whoops, then number 10 is his hands, which is a little bit darker color. I'm going to write these down as I go so I know what I'm working with. So I chose this little bit darker color green for his hands. Number 11 is right here. These are his eyelids. So that just needs to be just a shade darker than his face. So I'll pull his face back over here and show you. This is going to be his eyelids. It's a little bit darker. So I'm going to write that down. Eyelids. And then number 12, if I got that next, is just going to be like his eyebrow, which is right here. So these 3 colors are going to be next to each other. And this is his face, his eyelid, and his eyebrow. So, eyebrow. So those are the colors, and you know, like I said, use some kind of marking system so you don't forget. You can write it on here also. So the next color I have is right here inside his ear. It shows a nice coral fabric. I'll write it down, but it's kind of obvious what it is. Next we're getting into a lot of grays and blacks. So I'm going to use two different colors that are very similar for his, right down here, which is his robe. I'll put robe. I don't think I have enough fabric to do the whole thing, so I chose two very similar colors that I'll just kind of randomly put in there. So that's my number 3. Number 6 is his sleeves, which is right here on the outside. So that's a little bit lighter than the robe. So I'm hoping, I mean, it's really hard to even tell on here. So I'm hoping that this does kind of have a different kind of texture to it to make his sleeves stand out. Now you could do browns also for his robe. Let's see. Let's write down 6 is sleeve. So number 4 is the outer edge of his sleeve, like it's kind of rolled up like that. So that's right here. That's going to be sitting next to 3 and 6. So I kind of chose this grayish lavender. Kind of looks more gray than anything, so it will be sitting next to all of these fabrics. So it kind of will stand out as the inner part of his sleeve. So let's see, I'll put edge of sleeve. I'm going to set these aside. I might need them again here in a minute. So number 8, this I'm going to do the cup red. I'm just going to make it really stand out. So I decided to go with a red fabric, and I've already marked that here, coffee cup. I'll put red. Number 9, that's pretty dark. That's like his hoodie right here. That's right up in here. So I went with a little bit darker here for his hoodie. And then number 13, what did I do? Oh, 13 is that tiny little sliver right here that is whatever's on the inside of his cup. I don't know if you've seen The Mandalorian. I don't remember what he was drinking. I do remember him eating those little eggs, but I don't know that that's what's in here. But anyway, it just is like a peek of what's in his cup. So I chose this teal. So I'll put inside cup. And then number 7 is the inside of, it's like the inside of his sleeve. Like this is the rolled part that's kind of rolled back. This is his sleeve. This is the inside of his sleeve. I haven't pulled that out because I am going to use a black for that. Just a straight black. So I've got a ton of that color. I'll just grab it when I need it. And you need it for the inside of his eye too. And we'll need just a tiny little white for the pupils. Yes. So yeah, that's all the colors we need. Put pupils, white, sleeve and eyes. That's wrong. This is sleeve and eyes. Inside of sleeve. So, got our colors picked. We've got them marked for what they are. I've written down where they go on here so that I can kind of glance at it and go, number 12, what was that? oh, his eyebrow, and I can go straight here instead of like straining to see where all of this is. Also, you could take and make like a legend where you cut just a small piece of fabric and put it next to the number, so that if you do like get confused or this falls off, you know, your sticky notes or whatever fall off, you're not going to be like out of luck, like what was I doing? So you could make a legend, and I may do that, where you cut your fabric and put it next to the number that it corresponds to on here. You could even do it on here. Yeah, you could even do it over top of all of this. So that's where we're at today. No sewing today, just going through the pattern, showing you what it's all about, showing you what it looks like, to get ready, because next week I am thinking, let me get back, nope. Yeah, she gives you a lot. I'll do the color here. I'm thinking next week we will go through the left half of this. A, B, C, and D. It's a lot of big pieces. It'll kind of get you used to how the pattern works. And so that you'll have time to get your colors, and you're not using a lot of colors. So I think this whole section would go together fairly well next week, because there's a lot going on in this middle section. And I'm gonna have to say we may split that up. Like just doing his face would be a week, and then the midsection here may be a week. Although this would not take very long down here, and of course that wouldn't either. This would be a good time to do this, is 1 week. So I'm gonna try to plan on this section A, B, C, and D next week. The following week we'll do E, F, H, and G. And then all the sections in here, E, F, G, H, and then I through S, we'll do the third sewing week. And then the fourth sewing week we'll do these. And once these are done, then all 3 sections can be sewn together. So I may do that and sew it all together at that time. But anyway, so next week, grab your pattern, get it downloaded, decide what size you're going to do, 12, 15, 18, 20, or 25, and then print your pages that you need for your patterns, and then you'll have to glue together any of the patterns. I'm going to assume that even the small ones may need to have some glued together. I have not looked because I'm doing the biggest one. Print them, get your pieces ready to go, glue them together if needed. Pick your colors out, and then get sections A, B, C, and D sectioned out and ready to go for next week. And then I'll go through how we put these together. So let me know if you have any questions. Either leave a comment down below, or my Facebook page, or on my website, canaryquilts.com. If you have any questions about this at all, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. So I wanted to show you my legend that I put together. I just took a little smidge of fabric and glued it right on there, so that when I'm looking at it, I'll have a better idea of what fabrics are for what color. So I just wanted to share that with you, show you how I did it. To recap what we just did for our baby Yoda, as I went through the pattern, you've got options for the size that you want to do. I showed you my fabrics. I showed you how to put together templates if you need to do that. And then I gave you homework of putting your templates together and getting ready to sew sections A through D next week. So I've got mine together. You saw me put together A, which is right here. We aren't going to need H, so we'll have to cut that away when we're ready to sew. but I've got A, and B is not very big. This is B right here. So we'll do that one. It's only 3 pieces. C, which is this piece right here, and again, that's not very big. And D, okay, let's see. Oh, I showed you D first. This is D, this is A. So those are the 4 sections we're gonna start sewing next week. So, get your pattern downloaded, print the size that you need, get your templates glued together if you need to, pick your fabrics out, and then I will notify you when it's up for doing sections A through D. So thank you so much for following along on this Baby Yoda paper piece.